Peter Sagan is one of the most talented riders of his generation and has amassed a whole list of accolades, including the Tour of Flanders, Paris-Roubaix, 3 World Championships titles, and 7 green jerseys at the Tour de France, along with a bucket load of more wins. But how did this illustrious career start in the first place in terms of his Neo-Pro season, and how good was the young Peter Sagan really? The term Neo-Pro is very loosely defined, so we're going to count his Neo-Pro season as his first World Tour season or Pro Tour season, and not his first pro team that came in the form of Dukla Tricini Merida team, a Slovakian outfit that was on the Continental Division. This Slovakian team did sign Sagan after he impressed in 2008 as he won the mountain bike junior world championships in Val di Sole, and Sagan even combined this with results on the road and the cyclocross. In fact, in the cyclocross world championships that year at the junior edition in Treviso, he managed to finish second, and on the road he managed to win the junior national title, even finishing second in the junior Paris-Roubaix behind Andrew Fenn. After these incredible results from the young Sagan, he was already a hot property for many teams, proving he was a rider that was capable of doing pretty much anything on any terrain. His management team received 4 answers to bring Sagan for testing. The first was a 3-day test at Quickstep. However, Sagan surprisingly failed to secure a contract. His frustrations were so deep that he even contemplating quitting road cycling and focusing just on mountain biking. However, he was persuaded by his family to give it another try with the Italian outfit Liquigas, and there he succeeded. Subsequently, Sagan turned professional in 2010 with Liquigas, but as with many young riders making their transition to the professional ranks, there were plenty of questions about how he would fare against the seasoned veterans of the peloton. But it was at the back end of 2009, as mentioned, when Liquigas offered a 10-month contract to Peter Sagan, who didn't speak Italian or English at the time, and the contract amounted to €1,000 per month. This was later replaced by a 2-year contract with an option to ride mountain bikes for Cannondale as well. Sagan's medical results stunned the Liquigas doctors and managers, as they had never seen a 19-year-old as physically strong and capable as the Slovakian sensation. During the training camp, Sagan's bike handling skills were on full display, leading to him earning the nickname of Terminator. In January of 2010, Sagan was selected for his first UCI Pro Tour road race in the form of the Tour Down Under, and despite being involved in a crash during the second stage, he continued to ride with 17 stitches in his arm and left thigh. On the Queen stage to Wollonga Hill, he joined an attack over the last climb with Cadel Evans, Valverde and Luis Leon Sanchez. The 4 fought to hold off the sprinters group 20 kilometers to go, with Sanchez taking the win. Sagan's first 2 pro stage wins came not long after at Paris-Nice, a race that he wasn't initially selected for. The only reason Sagan was in the team was that his teammate Maciej Bodnar broke his collarbone, and this paved the way for a Sagan start. Sagan's first win was on the 3rd stage when he managed to outsprint both Nicolas Roche and Joaquim Rodriguez for the stage win in Aurillac. The result also gave him the lead in the points classification jersey, giving him the green jersey as well. His second win came from a solo attack on the 5th stage into Aix-en-Provence, and he followed this up with a 3rd place on stage 6, and this meant that Peter Sagan managed to secure his first pro points classification as well. He even went to his first Paris-Roubaix, but he didn't manage to finish the race, and after he went to another stage race in the form of the Tour de Romandie, where he finished second on the opening time trial and then went on to win the first road stage as well. He even finished second on stage 4 and managed to finish overall 12th. Sagan then went to his first Amgen Tour of California across the pond in America, and this is a race that has largely become synonymous with his career as well. It didn't take long before he was in the top results, as he finished second on stage 2 behind Brent Lancaster and then his confidence grew as he got further into the race, and he managed to take a stage win on stage 5 and stage 6, and overall Peter Sagan managed to finish 8th and really showed his promise as a young rider. He stayed in the US and finished 2nd in the Philadelphia International Championships, a HC one-day race, and then he went to the Tour de Suisse, but unfortunately he didn't finish that race. The Tour of Poland was again a bit of a letdown for Peter Sagan as he left with no stage wins, and that was the final stage race of his Neo-Pro season. And then we went into the last part where he took part in several one-day races. He was part of the Vattenfall Classic where there was no big result. Then he went to the Coppa Brenocchi, again with no big result from Peter Sagan, but then at the GP Plouay he managed to finish 7th, before in the Giro del Ventino he managed to finish 2nd, and in the Giro della Romagna he was 4th, before heading to Canada where he finished 19th in the GP Quebec and only missing out on the victory in the GP Montreal to Robert Hessing by 4 seconds. So the answer to our question, how good was his Neo-Pro season? And I would say pretty good. In his debut season, to put it into account, Sagan completed a staggering 68 days of racing and won 5 of them. He also finished in the top 10 a whole host of times on a number of different terrain, from the prologues to the sprinter stages to the bit lumpier stages, showcasing his versatility as a rider and showing that he could excel in both the sprints and the more hillier circuits. But it was in his second season as a pro that Sagan really exploded onto the scene. In 2011, Sagan managed to win 17 races and finished in the top 10 in 34 races. He also won the points classification at the Vuelta a España, cementing his status as one of the up-and-coming talents of the peloton. Of course, Sagan's career trajectory since his Neo-Pro season has been nothing short of remarkable. He won more than a staggering 120 professional races, including, as mentioned, the 3 World Championships, the Paris-Roubaix, countless stage wins at the Tour de France, and many one-day races as well. But it's worth remembering just how dominant he was from the very beginning of his career, and I think this 2010 season really cements how strong of a rider he was in the early days as he navigated from promising junior rider to the professional superstardom. He proved that he was more than capable of holding his own against the best riders in the world, and for that we should all be grateful. And we've been treated to a rider that unfortunately will be retiring at the end of the season, but surely is one of the greatest riders we've seen of this generation. That's it for this video. Make sure to comment down below what you think of Peter Sagan's Neo-Pro season, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and of course, as always, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.